Alistair.
Just from being here in the States. Okay.
Wonderful. Hello, Alistair. I'm so happy to have you in this dialogue, and I want to know everything about your method. I know you have so much information, it's not going to fit in one little Zoom meeting. So we will continue our conversations as we go. So I'm introducing everyone to Alistair. And Alistair, we've met online and we had a beautiful conversation about different ways and methods that help us, our loved ones, and the clients we work with. And I work with emotions, and Alistair works with energy, and her specialty is burnout. So she's a clinician helping people deal with burnout and energy management. And we share a few methods that we help people with, but at the same time, it's all so unique and different. And I want to know, and please take it from here.
Wonderful, Natalia. Thank you for inviting me to do this call. I loved our conversation yesterday where we discovered we have really a lot in common and a lot mostly around harmonizing and clearing energy. And so, what I'd love to share with people today, one of the things that we talked about yesterday is that people don't really need any new tools. Everything that you have to transform your consciousness or your life is right inside of you. And what people come to me for in my office and what people come to you for, I think, Natalia, is maybe some assistance in learning how to orient around having more presence and awareness. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit today about cultivating that awareness and how to sustain your presence internally, which then allows your essence to flow into life in a harmonious kind of way.
And it allows your body to heal once the stress is managed correctly and
That
emotions
is
processed.
It's absolutely true. And your body is the vehicle. It is the portal through which your energy expresses itself. And so if you're able to make your body work in a coherent kind of way where your emotions and your physical like expression of who you are work together, then so much more is possible.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to share just a couple of slides here about my method. And these methods are not unique. They are across traditions and um, out there across traditions. They are across cultures. They are across continents. They are not unique to this hike for evolution. So can you see my slides there?
Yes, I can see your slides. Thank
Perfect. Okay.
revolution. Mhm.
I can see them too, and then I can also see you. Okay, so Hike for Evolution, this is one pathway to personal transformation. Let me get on there. The body is the vehicle. The energy and matter that we're dealing with, body is the densest form of energy. They call it matter. You look around, you look at your couch, you drive your car, that's matter, but it's the densest form of energy. And so when we're able to see energy, as some healers, some even lay people are capable of seeing energy, when we're able to see how our body fits in to the greater thing that's going on, we just become more capable of managing our energy and of expressing it and not holding on to things. There's a very simple formula that we can use to transform your consciousness, to transform your physical expression, to transform your emotions. And the first step is awareness. Awareness helps you notice where your tension is. It helps you notice what's happening with your emotions. It helps you notice where you are in space. And when you're able to cultivate internal presence with all of that, you recognize that you're only in control of a very small part of what you're conscious of. You might be aware of what's happening in the world. You might be aware of what's happening in your city, in your family, at your job, but ultimately you want the skill to be able to come back to that internal present state, because then you have way more choice. Self-discipline is the way that we cultivate this. Hike for Evolution stands for human inner keys. Human inner keys, the inner keys that we discover inside of ourselves as we practice our daily discipline. Real change comes through the application of willpower developed through the discipline of daily practice. Willpower, vitality, these things collect in our energetic centers. And the more we practice our discipline, which may be energy management, which may be letting go of old stuff, which may be
Developing
just,
new habits. Mm-hmm.
yes, creating new habits, it's a discipline. And you want to be able to just turn it on like a switch. And having a daily discipline is the way that we do this. In the Hike for Evolution system, there are 6 steps. We center, we ground, we synchronize brain hemispheres, we clean our energy field, we nourish our energy field, and then we want to shield ourselves so that we're not leaking energy and so that people aren't farming our energy. These practices are cross-cultural. They are through traditions across time. They're not specific to Hike for Evolution. If you're a yoga practitioner, if you're doing the work that Natalia is doing in the world, you're learning how to ground and center and how to let go and how to shield yourself. But you don't really need for us to teach you. You just need to know how to do the grounding, how to do the centering. And I think that's where people kind of fall off the rails, is they don't quite know how to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take you on a short little journey here where we begin to see what we're made of. And so if you would notice where you are, feel your body on the surface that you're sitting on or lying on, and close your eyes and go out into deep, deep space, out to the gaseous clouds. Maybe you can go all the way to the Big Bang, and you recognize that we are carbon, we are hydrogen, we are oxygen. Those are the things that are floating around in space. And when you zoom in to our galaxy here, the Milky Way galaxy, and you see our tiny little planet in one of the arms of that galaxy, you recognize that we are a part of something that is way bigger than just us personally. When we kind of zoom in here to this collective consciousness where we're meeting in the group Transform Your Consciousness, or we're meeting in other groups, or maybe you're meeting in person with people, which is beautiful, then you are creating a field of energy that is bigger than who you are. You're participating consciously in that field. And when you practice your self-disciplinary practices, your self-regulating practices, letting go, centering, grounding, nourishing yourself, you are building your toroidal field, and you're creating space where you can find your energetic wings, where you can activate your antenna, where you can collect information from the all that is versus what's been kind of filed away in your very own personal brain. You can actually connect to the collective consciousness because you have the capacity and you've built the pathways. So that's really all I want to say is find ways to come to your center, to be present, and to continually be expanding your awareness and learning the things that help you, your inner keys, finding your inner keys to help you stay present in every moment so that you can really enjoy. And then I'll just share this slide real quickly. This is me. And I'm going to stop sharing so that Natalia and I can chat.
It's beautiful. All of the main basics that everyone should do every single day. Now, quick question. So is it a series of steps? Is it how the system when someone comes to you and they start working with you? What does it look like? How long does it take? And how can they find you? And how do you start working with them? You can give an example of shielding or grounding. Is it just advice or you personally help like with the energy balancing? Share a little bit about
Great.
that, please.
I love that. So when somebody comes to me, one of the first things that I teach them is a little bit of neuroscience. What reactivity states look like, how your limbic brain operates, how it's subconscious, how we're emotionally driven because of that subconscious and unconscious conditioning, and then helping them develop awareness about their prefrontal cortex and the role that it plays in stress management, becoming aware of when your emotions are activated, and then learning how to stay present with that cognitively versus getting carried away by emotions. So that's one of the first things that I teach is the basic neuroscience of stress, of emotional stress, of physical tension.
Which is right away increasing someone's awareness how it
Yes.
all works as a system and where how what the person has control over and what they don't. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And then I remind people that breathing is important. It's essential to life. And that one of the first things that you want to do when you notice tension or stress is to take a deep breath because you're noticing tension and stress. But when you're unconscious about tension and stress, our breathing interrupted. Interrupted. We often start breathing faster or we stop breathing. If you're in a freeze state, you might stop breathing. And so you want to become aware of what happens to your breathing when you notice tension and stress, and then activate the breathing and use that as a tool, as a basic mechanism. It's not even like we're going to transform our lives by breathing in this moment. We're just becoming present. So we're learning about neuroscience. Yes.
Keep talking and then I'll add something.
We're learning about neuroscience. We're learning how to use the breath to manage stress moment to moment.
People scrolling through the phone and they hold their breath. I keep reminding all my kids doing homework, I'm like, keep breathing deeply because when you forget to breathe, all of the toxins get stuck and your brain doesn't get the oxygen it needs to memorize things.
It's so true. That gives me goosebumps. That is so very, very true. So we're learning how to notice stress, what to do the second you notice stress, take some deep breaths. And then I encourage people to practice that breathing 3 times a day. It's like taking a medicinal pill. You want to practice it a few times a day so you can start recalibrating that limbic brain that was set up subconsciously through conditioning and connecting it to the conscious brain in our frontal lobe. So then we learn how to center in our axis, that line of energy that connects us with all that is and with the earth. We're kind of an antenna for the all that is and the earth. We're like the interface
Right.
between earth and sky. And so we practice centering in our axis, and then we learn how to ground. So it's really systematic, but I go kind of along, I follow the client really. What do they need? Maybe they're great at grounding, but they're not great at centering. Like they're really, really heavy, but they don't know where they are in space. So I'll just kind of follow along with clients to see what they're needing.
Can you say a little bit about your podcasts and therapists you're working with? Because you also help not just clients, you help therapists themselves. And how long have you been doing this?
Yeah, great. I have been counseling probably my whole life. I have been a formal counselor for 20 years. I've been licensed for 15 years. And I most recently am working with therapists and educators and healthcare professionals who are experiencing burnout. And I'm teaching them how to manage energy. And we're getting ready to launch a cohort really soon. So if anybody's interested, you can find me.
It's going to be Zoom or
It will be
cohort
online. Yep, this is an
online. Mhm.
on
Nice.
offering, and we're only taking 5 people this time.
Okay, beautiful. Do you share prices or it's they have to reach out to
They
you
can just give me a
individually?
call because we're really curating this group where we only want people who are ready and that kind of match that we match together. And so people can look me up at alistairmhawks.com and you can find all of the information there. Or in
Perfect.
my Facebook group, Wellness with Energy Medicine and Energy Psychology. I'd love to see new people there.
Perfect. And you'll send me the link and I will add it in comments in
I
Transforming
will.
Consciousness.
I will.
Beautiful. We'll continue our conversations. It's just the beginning of something beautiful and collaboration is on. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
All
Natalia.
sounds amazing. Thank you.